Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for being on this Zoom meeting. This is our social media webinar training that we are so grateful to Joviana Smith, who is with the Creative Hand Group, is going to walk us through the role of social media and how it can help our clubs be more visible in our community. It's often said that Zonta is the best kept secret, which is not a good thing. We're well known in the international field for all the good work that we do. We're known in international women's groups for the number of scholarships and fellows that we have throughout the world. But somehow locally, we're just not in the same, we're not present in the community and not well known. And we want to do something about that because number one, we shouldn't hide our good work under a barrel. And number two, if we want to inspire young women to be leaders in the community, they have to see what we're doing. If we want to inspire our neighbors and our friends to join us in this work, they have to know what we're doing. So with that being said, I am going to turn it over to our wonderful presenter, and I'm going to ask everyone again to put your view on speaker view. So because Joviana is going to be sharing her screen, and take it away.
Thank you so much, Miss Burton. I'm very happy to be here with you all. Again, my name is Giovanni Smith. I am a member of the Creative Hand Group. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me make this nice and big. Okay, and hopefully everyone can see that. Let me make this a little small. And can everyone hear me okay? Well, I see people's screens are off. So I'm sure Lisa, you would tell me. All
Yes.
good. Okay, perfect. All right, so today's presentation is entitled Let's Get Social. It's a quick guide to familiarize yourself with Facebook and Instagram. So those are the two platforms that I will be focusing on tonight. So I love to start everything that I do with a quote, but this is hopefully what you will be saying at the end of this presentation is you betta, we meta. So Meta is the parent company for Facebook and Instagram. So hopefully you all will feel a little bit more confident with navigating these two platforms when we get to the end of this. So I wanted to take a moment to kind of highlight the big three right now as of 2023. So we have Facebook, which has 2.9 billion monthly active users, and this is kind of a little highlight. The Facebook algorithm prioritizes content and conversations. So when it comes to kind of figuring out what is Facebook used for, I get that question a lot. Like what's the point of Facebook? And it is for content and conversations. YouTube has 2.2 monthly active users and 2.2 billion, monthly active users. And it's considered the second largest search engine after Google. So there's kind of a running joke in a lot of academic spaces that people utilize YouTube University. It's a very real thing. A lot of people, when they need to figure out a how-to, they go to YouTube. And then lastly, over here, we have WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is at 2 billion monthly active users. And if you're not familiar with WhatsApp, it's a messaging platform, which can be really great for customer service with small businesses. I feel like it's more prevalent overseas than what it is in the US, but it's picking up traction for a lot of individuals that keep in touch with their families overseas or run businesses overseas. Okay, so Facebook, as you know, the creators, Mark Zuckerberg. But here I've kind of highlighted on the left the overall of what is Facebook. As you see, it's a social media network, connects people through an online platform. What is Facebook great for? It's great for all content. So if you're thinking videos, if you're thinking a status, an image, if you're thinking blogs, if you're thinking novels, short stories, I mean, Facebook has a unique community for every one of those spaces. And Facebook users are primarily now it's kind of split as time has gone on as to what generations use it, but millennials are still very much using Facebook. So kind of given what Lisa was talking about when it comes to reaching that younger generation, Facebook is still a viable place to do that. So we don't want to knock Facebook out of the park and say, oh, no one uses Facebook. Everyone still uses Facebook. Facebook groups are very big. Facebook uh, events are very big, so we still want to focus on that. And I just highlighted a couple of the key words that we find when we talk about Facebook, right? So like your profile, your news feed, your timeline, which and the algorithm. A lot of conversation is around algorithms, and it's true, because what Facebook does is that they use the information that they get from you, the user. So they talk about that dwell time. So whenever you go onto a post, and if you kind of what we call go down the rabbit hole, so if you have multiple posts that you're looking at, and then Facebook will take that information, and then when you go into a search engine within Facebook, or when it's sending you targeted ads, then they'll show you what you have spent most of your time on. So if you love, I love dogs. I have a dog. I love dogs. So I get a lot of dog content. And then from there, I get pet content. And then from there, I get pet food. There, I get vets. So it goes on and on and on. So it kind of starts in this one area, and then it branches off into not just interests, but potential purchases. Like, what can I buy? So I'm gonna keep rolling here and kind of give this part two about some of the other key terms that I feel like we have been hearing since the pandemic. Facebook Live. So Facebook Live is huge. People love to go live. People now have webinars off of Facebook Live. They have workshops off of Facebook Live. They have dance classes off of Facebook Live. Facebook Live is a very viable platform, and it reaches many, 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 many people. Also, Facebook Messenger, which allows you to chat instantly with individuals, but also is good for video calling and phone calling. And also this other place about the marketplace. So if you're not familiar with Facebook Marketplace, it's very similar to eBay. You can buy products, sell products, and you can also, excuse me, you can see what's in your area that's for purchase. So it keeps you kind of to a local area. So Marketplace serves as not only a consumer situation, but it's also a conversation, right? Because you have to message whoever it is that you decide that you're going to buy this piece from, and then you message them and you find a place to meet up. So it kind of, Facebook right now is in the space of, you know, it's going toe to toe with Netflix, with eBay, with any messaging platform. That's exactly where Facebook is. So it's a very viable tool to utilize if you're looking to grow connections. All right, so let's slide over to Instagram. Instagram is similar to Facebook, but there are a few things that differ. So one of the biggest is that Instagram is excellent for sharing visual content and following public figures. It also allows you to engage with public figures. So prior to Instagram, unless you wrote a letter, let's say to corporate, there was really no way to speak to anybody that does anything at Nike or McDonald's or Wendy's. And in this day and age, because of Instagram and Twitter for that matter, but Instagram as well, you're finding that companies now have representatives that are not just PR, but they're also social media analysts and social media marketers that are able to engage with consumers, specifically when something looks like it has viral potential. So it doesn't have necessarily a timeline of when something can go viral, but you do find that a lot of viral material lives on Instagram. a few keywords with Instagram. You know, we talk about posts and we talk about stories. So Instagram had stories first, and now Facebook has stories. So a story, as I have it documented here, is an image or a video that disappears after 24 hours and it doesn't appear on the feed. So once you post that, then it's gone. That's very similar to Snapchat. Once you post it on your story, then it's gone. It doesn't come back. Now, you can save it, you can to what's called a highlight, or you can make a post out of that story. So that allows you to kind of get these quick bursts of life. I tend to think of a story as a slice of life. You know, it's a quick 3 second, 5 second, 10 second, minute in your life, your day, your space, your year, that allows users to interact with that post. And I will get to this in a second, but I do want to touch on this now about privacy. There are privacy settings that can deactivate. A lot of celebrities have this, where you cannot comment or post on their stories or their walls. You can't do that. But someplace like the Shade Room, which is a gossip column that's now really big, they live for the posts, the comments, the likes, the shares. They live for that. That's what helps drive their engagement. Let me go ahead to part 2 of Instagram. So these are also, you know, a couple of terms that are very prevalent now that I wanted to make sure people have a clear understanding about. So Instagram Live, it's the exact same thing as Facebook Live. But again, Instagram had it first. So we saw an uptick when the pandemic was happening, and DJ Nice was doing his quarantine parties, and it became, you know, a national trend. Everyone that was tuned in to Instagram Live on, you know, a Saturday night at 9 p.m. Was able to engage with DJ Nice. And now, you know, that was not only viral then, it's still continuing. I mean, there are talks of him now actually putting on like a quarantine party, keeping that same title but doing it at Carnegie Hall. So that's the beauty of social media, is that things can catch on and then they continue that same growth, right? Especially once it's picked up in some kind of way. DMs, so direct messages, they allow you to reach out to basically any Instagram user that doesn't have any crazy privacy settings. So it does have a limit, and you can always filter. And I think that Instagram does a pretty good job of that as well, about filtering out some of the things that may look a little sketchy, or it's, you know, a brand that is this, you know, very new off brand, no one knows about it, and they're trying to get your attention or get you involved, something like that. Then they're able to kind of put a block up, and it's in this area that's called restricted, so that you would have to respond to that in order for that message to come through to you. And sometimes if you're not thinking about it, you don't even see it. So that's a great way to engage with users and have users engage with you if they have a question. So the last one here is Reels. So Reels they allow you to create short stories that are a little bit longer than a story. So a story can only be 15 seconds, but Reels can be 30 seconds. They can be a minute. A lot of times when you see viral dancing videos and things of that nature, it's from a Reel. And they are another tool that you can utilize in order to kind of capitalize on popular trends at the time. So there's certain songs that will kind of catch on and they'll be popular for a while. For example, Beyonce's, her latest one, not Alien Superstar. It'll come to me. For the life of me, I can't think of this now, but if I ever play it, I would be able to hear it. But one of her popular songs, and everyone is doing the viral dance to it. So when things gain traction, so that's another way. So let's say you do a Reel and you use that audio, chances of more people seeing that go up because you're using something that's already popular and in the market. Awesome. All right. So, a few rules about social media marketing. So, some of the things that you want to do, you want to optimize your profile. So, what does that mean? Optimizing your profile means that you want all of your links to work. You don't want any broken links. You want to make sure that all of the content is correct. Anyone who was, in charge is no longer in charge. Phone numbers, links to other social platforms, you want to make sure that all of that is correct. And that's called an optimization. So, same thing with LinkedIn, how you try to keep your LinkedIn on the up and up. No matter if you're, whether it's for your personal use or your business use, but specifically for your business use, you want to make sure that all of your information is correct. What time of day you can be reached, what hours are open, because a lot of people now, they will turn to a Facebook page and or an Instagram page before they actually go to a website. So that's why you want to make sure that your social media is optimized. Posting, you want to post, ideally not more than once a day, but you want to post anything that's useful, informational, entertaining. You want it to be relevant to your brand. You don't want to be off brand. So if, let's just take Zonta, for example, to post something about, I don't know if like trees, let's say, or like Arbor Day falls into the category of your marketing of what you're doing, but trees may be a little off brand if it doesn't circle back to what the actual mission is. So you want to make sure that you're staying close in what your mission is, or if you veer, if you deviate a little bit, then you have a good reason or something that's gripping as to why you've done that. Because that can also be a good way to get attention as well. Engaging. So you want to make sure that in addition to you just posting, you are going onto Instagram and you're engaging with other users, other followers. You're asking questions, you're liking, you're sharing, because that's the best way for them to come back to you, because they can look and see like, oh, I don't know if I know this user, if I've seen this name before, let me click on them. They click on you and they find out more about you, and possibly you get a new follow or a new like. Advertising. So this is something that requires a whole other webinar, but to just touch on it, there are paid methods of reaching an audience. So that's something I recommend when brands are a little bit further along, and it's really great for events. So it's good for a local area, and whatever event is happening, you can put money behind a flyer or a reel, or well, not a reel, a story that you've created. You can put money behind that so that it'll continue to pop up in the search engines of other individuals. And you can put as little as $1 a day for 5 days, and that's also available on Facebook. That's Facebook and Instagram. These rules are also for both Facebook and Instagram. And then measuring. So measuring is utilizing whatever platform that you have. Each platform has analytics that they're going to use to help you track your posts. So there are also, many other platforms that allow you to kind of condense like all of your, so let's take Hootsuite, for example. You can put all of your social media accounts in one area, and then you can manage the analytics from there. And you can see directly, this post on this day at this time with these colors did well, or this post on this day at this time with these colors did not do well. So it kind of allows you to create a tailored social media plan as you're planning out what you're going to do for the next year or so. And the benefits of social media marketing, right? How does it help? So it helps humanize your business. What I mean by that is that it gives you an opportunity to put a personal touch on something that can be very distant. That has worked for Nike. Nike at one point started doing like hero awards, but they were only doing it on their story on Instagram. And so it made you go to the story, go to Instagram. It was on Fridays, and then you could keep track and engage with what was happening. So that was a tool that like Nike was using. But then that says that they're invested in the community. They're looking to engage with their users. They're paying attention. So you always want a human touch to your business. Drive traffic. Instagram, Facebook, they all work in the same way, that it only takes one person to share it, and then someone else can share it, and the next person can share it, and the next person can share it, and then Serena Williams shared it. So excuse me, that's a good way to get attention on or to your business, or like what you're doing. Generate leads and customers. Similar to driving traffic, you want to get those individuals in paying attention to what you're doing. Increases brand awareness. So you want your Facebook or your Instagram to be a digital picture of whatever it is that you represent, what you sell, whatever that is. You want it to be a snapshot of kind of who you are if someone were to glance at your brand on their mobile device. And lastly, it allows you to build relationships. So that DM element is very, very real. I can think of several small brands. I remember when they first started, and now they have over 1 million followers. Let's just take, I'll give one, Tiara Goes Green. I remember when she first started, and now 5 years later, she has over 1 million followers. But myself and one of my other friends have both experienced her responding to a DM. And there's something that's very cool and special about that when you get to have that connection, because then, number one, as a customer, I feel appreciated. Number two, I'm way more likely to buy again because she took the time to respond. So building relationships on social media platforms is very real. And you'll hear a lot of influencers talk about that. They have had the opportunity to actually make friends and go places and do different things. The social media world is huge, and it's not going anywhere. So just want you to remember, like I said, social media is definitely here to stay. Instagram has a desktop feature. I think that's really important for people that feel intimidated by Instagram or by utilizing only a mobile device that has to be a smartphone, because you can't use Instagram really on a flip phone. So it has a desktop feature, and you can post and like and share and do all of the same elements that you do on the phone. You can do that on your desktop. And just remember that it's an excellent way to connect with your business, access billions of clients. So just remember, like that first post that I talked about, the monthly active users, 2.2 billion, 2.3 billion, 2 billion. So these are all in the billions, and there is a plethora of opportunity to kind of grow and get your name out there the way you want it to be out there. So thank you so much. And of course, I am here for questions, and I can send this presentation and the resources for anyone that wants to dive further into this.
Well, that was great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Of course,
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love your setup.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's great.
Thank you.
So
I did type a couple of things in there, Lisa. But she answered the first one I did.
yes. Yes.
Cuff it. Yes. That's it.
So you did speak about it's important to post at least once, or to post only once a day, not to overload it. Is there too few posts? I mean, what's kind of the optimum, if there is an optimal number of posts per week per se?
So if it's a business that's first starting out, I mean, you'd like ideally anywhere from 3 to 5. You could post, 3 to 5 times. 5 might be overkill. Definitely 3. 3 is a good sweet number, because and this is also like a a Google search, right? But because the algorithm kind of changes, but you always want to keep in mind that there are better times to post on different platforms.
Mhm.
So that might mean, like, I know off the top of my head, like, I know Wednesdays at 11 is really good for Instagram. I don't know why, but that's what everything says. So, like, Wednesdays at 11, really good for Instagram. A good rule of thumb is that, like, people on their commutes or when they first get to work, so you're looking at that, like, anywhere from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Mhm.
For all platforms tends to be a good time. And then after work,
Mhm.
directly 5, 6 tends to be a good time. Um, and Saturday, again, early morning, mid afternoon. So those tend to be good times for engagement. I'm sure those statistics will change since we're in January of 2023. I'm sure by July there'll be something different. But as of right now, those are and that I will say that usually doesn't change too much about like before work, after work, and
Saturday,
the only time oh sorry.
like Saturday afternoons or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Saturday afternoons. Those tend to be decent. But like Sunday, usually not a good day for posting. Too late at night is not a good day for posting, but then that also depends on the demographic. So if you're looking to engage anyone that works overnight shifts, or maybe this is more towards nurses and doctors, or anyone that would be up at that time, then I mean, because it's a world platform, everyone's up at some point throughout the entire day. You always have people up, so it just depends on like who you're looking to target. But
we asked most of our clubs, our Zonta clubs, to like the district Facebook page,
yes.
and to like other clubs. I
Mhm.
often wonder if we're just not creating an echo chamber, and that maybe we should be looking at other organizations that share our mission and
Mhm.
follow them in the hopes that they'll follow us. What would your advice be about that?
Absolutely. I see that work all the time. So whether let's just take for example like Girls Inc. of Westchester. Girls Inc. They like all other Girls Incs. And then but they also like a lot of YMCA's. Similar mission, working with young people, mentoring, the importance of being active, still kind of in that same realm. Um, and like let's say the New Rochelle YMCA, they will like a Rotary Club, or they'll like a Toastmasters or a Boys and Girls Club. So it's good to partner and kind of reach out to those other organizations, or Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. It's good to find those organizations that closely align. They don't have to be, like spot on to the T, because that might not be, right? Like Zonta is very specific, but like Girls Inc. and Zonta have similar girl driven missions that are, and women driven missions that are kind of at the core. So absolutely branching out to other organizations, liking them, and commenting, and if you can, or promoting. I've seen that work too. Sometimes saying like, oh, the Greenberg YMCA, let's say if it's a New Rochelle YMCA, the Greenberg YMCA is having something. Here's their flyer. Maybe some of you would like to attend something like that, or the Gales swim team is having something, which it doesn't hurt ever to engage with other organizations, and social media is a great way to start to build that bridge. Excuse me.
I have
I do have a quick question. So how do we go about finding if somebody has a Facebook page that aligns with our mission?
When you go to Facebook, you can, if you know the name of the organization, that's always easy. You can search the name of the organization. If
Right.
you don't, you can type in certain keywords and you can see what that will produce. Same for Instagram. I feel like Instagram's a little bit better for that, because Instagram utilizes hashtags, whereas like that's not really a Facebook thing. It ends up being on Facebook, but that's because it started from Instagram, and you can post once. That's this whole idea of like, oh, I only had to post it once because you post it on Instagram and it'll share it to your Facebook if they're connected.
How does that work? How do you get that to work?
So from your Instagram, you'll be able to go into your settings, and there'll be an option that says link other accounts. And that's where you can add in your Facebook, your Tumblr, your Twitter, your YouTube. You can add those links there. And since you asked, I'm going to look at my Instagram right now to make sure that's right. But it is in your settings, that's for sure.
Is
That
it
I
in
know.
the settings?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
You know,
It's
I
in your
wonder,
settings.
Maria, you know, behind that question, if you did a search of women in empowerment, if our clubs come up, you know, like maybe our descriptions should make sure, you know, when you're, and there is a way of editing the description both on Facebook and Instagram, that we have those keywords that would drive people who are looking for the mission. Hi, Leslie, how are you? Happy New Year.
Hi, I apologize. I was cooking dinner and I just lost track of time. I'm so sorry.
No worries, we're recording it so we can share it out later as well. No worries.
Oh, and Maria, so I want to double back the
Mhm.
so you go in on Instagram, you would go into your settings. It's the accounts center. They've really cleaned this up. This used to be more complicated back in the day. So the account center, and then you would there's a subheader that says manage connected experiences, and you would click on sharing across profiles, and that's where you can add accounts. And it'll
Leslie,
tell you can add an Instagram account or add a Meta account. Meta is Facebook.
we were
Got
just,
it.
we were talking about
Thank
how
you.
to share
You're welcome.
profiles. If your club has a Facebook account and an Instagram account, you can post on one of them and it would share across the platforms. Apparently it can be done that way.
I actually don't have anybody who can keep anything up to date. So it's just very frustrating. But one thing I did really want to know, and maybe you've already covered it and I can go back and watch the video, but and that is how to move things from my Zoom account onto YouTube. Because I'd like to be able to save some of the, you know, more interesting presentations that we have. I record them to Zoom, but I don't know how to then move them someplace permanent. So
Moving from your Zoom to your YouTube. Off the top of my head, what I'm thinking is that you would have to download the recording as an MP4 and then upload that to YouTube. That's what comes to mind when I first think of it. But I'm going to circle back and then I'll email Lisa with what I find, because that's what I think it is, but I'm
That's
not
how I understand it.
100% sure.
and part of the problem is that I personally don't have much memory on my iPad. So
Okay.
I don't really want to download it because it would probably not capture all of it. Or if it did, I wouldn't be able to save anything else.
Do you have a
So-
Google Drive?
I might have a Google Drive. Yeah. Can you download
Because
it to
then
Google Drive?
You can upload it to the drive, and then that shouldn't affect your hard drive, like your
I
actual
mean, I can
device,
download it from Zoom to my Google Drive.
and add it to the Google Drive. Yeah.
And then from there, transfer it over.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
so untechy. I need the mechanics of how to do that.
Okay.
I know it sounds bizarre. but
Yes, and my
mean, I-
question for
no, I'm
Google Drive is
75. And
what-
missed, you know, a lot of this. So, and I don't have anybody in the club who's willing to do it.
Giovanni,
Anderson. Yes.
so far as Google Drive is concerned,
Mhm.
how do you know if you even have access to something like that? Like, I hear everybody talk about it, but I have no idea where it is, how to get it, what it is. Yeah. What?
Okay.
It's
No,
so-
you're fine. So,
I
your
was
Google
not,
Drive.
my degree is not in any hard science or math, just so you know.
It's okay. Mine isn't either. I have a master's of fine arts in creative writing. I got an English degree and a theater degree, but I like this stuff. So
Oh, we have to
that's
talk. We
yes,
have to talk.
yes, let's talk. So that's the only reason I have a clue is because I love this. So with Google, usually as soon as you sign up and you start a Gmail account, then you have access to your own personal Google Drive. So it's nothing that you have to, you don't,
Okay.
you don't have to like get access to it unless someone is like sending you something and they say, then you would need access if they're, depending on what their privacy setting is for how they're sharing that document. But if you start a Google account, then you have a Google Drive. I can actually, let me see if I can pull this up. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to just share the whole thing. Okay, so here is where all of my Google apps live. So you have your account, search, maps, and then you have the drive that's here. So if I were to go to my account, now I haven't started a Google account in a long time, so I have to remember this myself. But you're usually able to add add like a profile, whether it's on Safari or it's on Google, because I like Chrome. Then within that, you're able to add the profile, and the profile is what's going to allow you. But if you open it in here, so if you start your Google account, you'll get a place like this, and this, I call it a bridge board. That's not the technical term, but that's what I call it, a little bridge board. You'll open that, and then same thing. You'll be able to see your drive here. Does that help a little?
Yeah. So how do you like put things in it or like,
Okay. I'm trying to think. I hope I don't have anything crazy in here. I shouldn't.
it's okay. No judgment. Judgment free
Okay.
zone. Safe place.
Thank you. So once you open your Google Drive, it'll look like this. And then you will be able to add. So there's this drop down folder here, and you can upload directly from your computer, or you can start something new. You can do a Google Doc, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Forms, and more. Drawings, maps.
Oh my gosh.
Google Sites.
So where
This is
on
like
there,
a whole new world has opened up.
where on there do you upload, do you get the file from Zoom to go onto the Google Drive?
So it would be either it would be a file upload, because you would have to, and then depending on where, actually, you know what? Let me think for a second.
Shouldn't it be
If you were going to
file-
download,
Yeah,
Yeah, when
you would have
you'd have to download it, and when you go into the Zoom setting,
Zoom.
right, it will tell you which files have been saved, which
Yep.
recordings have been saved. And there you can download it into not your hard drive in your computer or on your iPad, but in that Google space. That's what I've done in the past. When we had the governor's event in October, I downloaded it into a Google Space, and then moved it into YouTube. I didn't know there might be a direct way. I just, do the things that make sense to me, so I'm not sure if there really is a way in Zoom. And I wonder if I can share, let me go and, okay, Judith, thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, be sure to just send them to me and I'll pass them along.
I have another bizarre question. I started the Gmail for the club at the Zonta Brooklyn Club. And now on my normal Leslie Irway, right? Gmail, it comes up Zonta President. or no, it comes up Zonta Club of Brooklyn, not even President, just comes up Zonta Club of Brooklyn. How do I get rid of that? Because I don't want to have that come up all the time. It's one thing if I have a signature on the Zonta BKLYN at gmail.com, but I don't want leslieirwaywright.com at gmail.com to come up as Zonta Club of Brooklyn. I think it has something to do with how I started it, but I don't know how to get rid of it.
I think that's in your settings on Zoom. You have to look there.
No, I'm not talking about Zoom. I'm talking about Gmail.
Oh,
I think you just have to sign out of whatever account you don't want to be in. You can sign out of it. So, okay, let me see if I can, yeah, let me share my screen again. Okay, so my little control over. So over here I have, and this is for Google Chrome. I haven't opened Safari in a while. I like Chrome best. But over here I have my little circle, and here is where I have other profiles that I could sign into. But right now I'm not signed into any of those. So if I wanted to sign out of this, I would just click on the sign out. Does that clear it up a little? Does that make sense?
Well, I'll have to try it. Right now on my system, I have a Mac, and all of my email accounts are listed on the system, so I don't go directly to the icon for Gmail.
Okay, so it looks like this, right? Because you have a Mac.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Mail accounts. My computer's a little slow. Okay. Here it is. And then you can sign out of one of these. Like if you have multiple up here, leave me alone. Then you can sign out of one of them. You would go into the, nope.
You don't mean delete?
don't
You actually
No,
have to
not delete it. Just sign out. Where's my, you don't have to delete it. I'm sorry, and I'm trying to think of it
because
off
I
the
don't
top
want
of
to
my
delete it
head.
because
I
then it
haven't.
deletes all the emails.
right.
Mm-mm.
You can select one to be
No.
your primary.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And
You can
where
select
you
one to
say
be your
that-
primary.
Would it really delete all the emails? The
No.
email would still be
I wouldn't want
there. You just would be signed out of it,
Yeah,
right?
signing
Mhm.
out is different from deleting for sure.
Right.
So what does it say? I couldn't read it.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
You can just tell me.
Oh, okay. I X'd out of it. So you can,
So it doesn't say delete, it must say something else.
yeah, it's so funny. Sometimes when you don't do stuff for a long time, you go back, I have to walk myself through it where I'm like, hold on.
I know
I'm like, I
we're very
know.
elementary here.
No, it is so fine. I just have to walk myself through it for a second. Because I'm like, I know I've done this a million times. Is it preferences instead of accounts?
Maybe we should have like a Google training, Google basics, how to have.
Yeah,
how to
Yeah.
switch forth to it, how to use the YouTube.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a great idea. Why am I blinking? I was in accounts. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, why is this? Oh, you know what's another thing you can do?
Just toggle back and forth.
Something just occurred to me, and hopefully this is helpful. When I start a new email, I change the from. So here I have all my other emails up, and I can select which one I want to send from.
yeah.
Does
I
that
know how to
help?
The problem
not
is that sometimes when it sends it calls me, it somehow says Leslie Ray Wright, Zonta Club of Brooklyn. Which I
Oh, it's
don't.
the signature.
I can't remember exactly where that comes up. I just remember being shocked whenever I see it.
Okay.
I'll try to pay attention so I can report back.
No problem. Let me think for 1 second.
Can you send a test email to Lisa and see what you see and see what she sees on her end?
Yeah, send me something.
I just sent something to you actually, but I don't think it did that.
No, I did get something from you. Was it today?
You probably get different things from me because I'm active with the legislature now.
Okay, well, let me just look. Yeah, you sent me something about the social media post and Paulette, but you just came up as you normally do, Leslie.
Yeah, normally it does that, but I don't know why sometimes it
Okay.
I'll have to pay attention and tell you when I see it, because it does not seem to always do it. I just don't know why it does it.
I understand.
Hmm.
Okay, so Shivani, if you had any kind of parting words for us, in terms of for the novice, and for the busy women that we are, who cannot, definitely not commit to posting every day. I know that there's a way of posting in advance on one of our clubs, the Essex County Club. You know, we have 16 days of activism, and they line all of those things up in October, and set them up in a schedule. I know they do that on Facebook. I'm just not as familiar if you could do it also in Instagram, or even if it makes a difference if you are sharing the two platforms. But
yeah, if you're sharing across, I think one post for both is fine. So whatever you post on, let's say Instagram, and that also posts on Facebook at the same time, that's fine. You don't have to double dip. I am a big fan of Hootsuite. I feel like someone asked if Hootsuite charges.
Yeah,
I did, yeah.
Okay, now it does. It didn't always. It used to be free years ago when I first started using it, but I love it so much that I pay for it. So, I don't know how much that is off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
But it's not crazy expensive. It's not crazy
Is it
expensive.
monthly or annual? Or they have
Monthly.
options?
I do monthly.
and
Mhm.
for those of us who don't know what Hootsuite is,
Oh, sorry. Hootsuite is a platform where you can have all of your social media platforms in one central location, and you can plan your posts from there. So you'll, design your post, whatever you're going to say, whatever you're going to do, whatever image goes with it, and you can put it into Hootsuite, and then that Hootsuite will post for you on whatever day and time you tell it to. So like someone that has a week planned or has an event coming up, Hootsuite's excellent for that because you can do it months in advance and plan that out. And then you can plan it, as we used to say when I worked in marketing, we used to say set it and forget it. So once that's there, then you don't have to change anything if you don't want to. And it can hold I think up to 5 accounts at a time, because you can do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and one other that I can't think of. Was it Reddit? No. Doesn't matter what that other one is, but those are the hot ones: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Now, if you have multiple accounts, like I have obviously my personal account, but I also, at least for the next 18 months, have the Zonta District 3 account. Would
Mhm.
Hootsuite require me to have 2 different accounts?
So when you would go, so when you go into your Hootsuite platform, you can add both accounts there. So if you have 2 Instagrams, you can add that. If you have 2 LinkedIns, you can add that. If you have 2 Facebooks, you can add that. So you
And
don't
how
have to have like one
Yeah.
Hootsuite there.
How many accounts can you add?
Off the top of my head, let me Google it. When I don't know, I don't keep track of it. I Google everything.
Because I really want to find easy ways for our clubs to do to have access to social media. That if the district is posting something, it shouldn't have to manually have someone from the Brooklyn Club and the New York Club and the Essex County Club all go in to save it and like it and share it. If there's an easy back end way that one post can be shared across the district, it would certainly alleviate the duplication of efforts, which is what we basically have. We have 26 clubs that are trying to push out content, similar content, and then very specific content. So the content that is similar across clubs, I would love a way in which the district could just do it for them. And
That would be amazing.
that would be amazing. And if Hootsuite is something that allows that, then why not we, I can bring it to our treasurer and we can see how that would work. But it would really just depend on how many accounts could be shared on one platform.
So it says you can manage up to 20 different accounts from one dashboard. So you can manage like up to 20 different like Facebook pages, let's say.
It's promising.
Yeah, business users can add up to 35.
And what's the price for the business user?
That's a great question. Let me open that up.
I maintain our LinkedIn presence. And the way that I took care of that was I went into Canva and made, this is specifically for the 16 days of activism. Went into Canva and made up, not all of them at a time, but I did as many as I could. And then I was just able to just post.
Using Hootsuite or just from the?
No, just I went into Ann Hoffner showed me how to do this.
Okay.
And I went into Canva, made the posts, and then as each date and topic came up, I would post it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, Canva's great. And so that's the other thing. There's Hootsuite has I don't know why they're not giving
Do
me an
they
answer
have the
about
option to create the post? like Canva does?
No, not the same way.
Okay.
No,
All right.
Canva is its own like master creator space. The only thing that's ever been like Canva that I've used has been similar to like anything like Adobe Spark Post. That was what I was using before Canva was introduced to me. I'm a big Canva fan. I also pay for that because I do a lot of communications and documents and stuff for people, and Canva's my go-to for everything. I love Canva.
Yeah, I've been doing some really great flyers on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
For-
Once you learn how to use it, and it's very user friendly.
Yeah.
It's very user friendly.
Lisa, that's how I did the Amelia Earhart flyer
Okay,
for our virtual presentation. Was using Canva.
yeah. All right, so my takeaway in all of this is that we need to have kind of a basic Google Drive, Google Docs, uploading to the cloud, YouTube.
Walkthrough. Yeah.
You know, and give everybody an opportunity to do hands-on, you know, and maybe that needs to be a weekend and not a dinner time thing, because we need some energy, you know, some early morning energy, I think, to do that. But we also need to have a better understanding of how collaboratively the district can work with clubs and their social media. And if there's an option like Hootsuite, and maybe also to have training on Canva, if that is something that is also an easy way to create flyers and such. That we can talk about that as well, because like I said, it doesn't make sense to me that we at the district want to push out information and want to share information from Zonta International, and yet we have 26 clubs that are doing the exact same thing, and that's not a good use of our time. If it can be done by one person and pushed out across different platforms, then why? Yeah, if one person can do, you know, 26 by pressing a button, as opposed to 26 people going in.
Yeah, we're trying not to reinvent the wheel.
Right, and we're also trying to just minimize the amount of angst involved in playing in this platform, because it is a powerful platform, and a shared effort is always appreciated, right? So
and if I could volunteer this, what just occurred to me too is that if you have if there is one point person that is going to serve, let's say, as that, then when they post something from, let's say, the international, then they make sure they just tag all the other clubs. They can tag them in that one post, and then all the clubs know no one is going to post anything. We're just focusing on this post that we were tagged in, and then they can reshare it, because sharing is always good. Resharing is always good. Retweeting, reposting, right? That's like Instagram. That's always good. But then at least you have one central force that is controlling like what the whole organization is going to say. And then everyone does not have to, you know, recreate new materials and things like that. If let's just say if like Hootsuite is not an option, or like Loomly is another, that's the other platform. Loomly does the same thing Hootsuite does, but I'm pretty sure Loomly is a lot cheaper than Hootsuite, but just as effective. So those might be the two.
How do you spell that one? Loomly?
L as in, oh, I could type it in the chat. Look at me. I was really about to go all the way through it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Like Loomly. Got it.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So we are gonna try and do more training, and I definitely will post this out to everyone. We'll have the link. And I think we have a YouTube channel for the district. But I
Okay.
will check in with Mary Ellen Winland, our publicity chair, to make sure that I know where it is and how she can and how everyone can find it. But Leslie and Maria, if you have any other thoughts on training that would be helpful to your clubs or to you personally, just send me an email, and we have very talented people in the district and friends of Zonshins, and we'll figure something out. I also want to let everyone know
Yeah,
that
I would love clarification. I have an Instagram account, but I may as well be like, I don't know, a cave person in using it. And I need clarification on like how to use the @ and hashtags. So in the future, like that, I know it's not a huge topic, but perhaps in the future, how best to utilize those.
now, Maria, if we did like 30-minute, kind of just down and dirty, everyone pull up your Instagram account and do walkthroughs, is that the level that we're talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The people have spoken. The need will be met.
Yes, I put my email in the chat as well, so that if you all have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. Nothing is too small. Just give me a couple days to make sure I'm giving you the right answer and try to iron out some steps for you. A quick answer to you, Maria. The @ is used if you want to tag someone or a business, a follower, a user, an Instagram user. And then the hashtag is kind of, think of it as like, what category do I want to be put into with this? So like hashtag empowerment, hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag
Right now.
yeah. Yeah, like hashtag, hashtag make sure go vote, hashtag whatever you hear that's like trending and out
great.
there.
Yeah.
That's where you're utilizing hashtags. And they also go in your post. So when you're posting on Instagram, you can put them in the caption section. You would put the hashtag.
When I was doing the 16 days of activism,
Uh-huh.
I think I did not a bad thing, but I think I did something incorrectly. I must have put, I don't know, about 50 hashtags following the post. And then I found out you're only supposed to do like 5.
Yeah, but to be fair, don't be hard on yourself, because social media changes very quickly. So when hashtags first came out, that was the trend. You could put like up to 100 hashtags. People were like, yes, hashtag me up. And no longer is that the case. But at one point in time, it was. So your original method was the correct method for then, but not now.
Okay. I'm just trending about 5 years behind the times then. Okay. I'm catching up as soon as I can. I think I just found you on Instagram.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I think, what's my name? Jojo? I think I'm
Jojo
Jojo
Smith?
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to follow you.
Yes. Follow me.
There we go.
I talk a good game. I don't post nearly as much as I should or anything like that, but I know the rules of it. So
Start. All right, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Josiane. That is just.
you're so welcome.
This has been great, and we're still going to send you an application to join the Zonta Club de New Rochelle. So.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yes, Miss Smith is a Zonchin. She just doesn't know it yet, but
Couldn't agree more.
yes. So everyone, again, if you think that there's something that we can be helpful with at the district in terms of this type of training, just shoot me an email, and we're it's the start of the new year. We are committed to training. I want to let everyone know that we have purchased a WOVA account. WOVA was what the Zonta International used for the convention, and we are going to have a hybrid governors conference in October using that platform. And we need to fill up that content. So look for an email from me in the next week or so, where I'm interested in what everyone wants to do in terms of we can have presenters, we can have exhibits, we can have allies kind of just join us on WOVA and help drive the message of our conference, which is going to be women empowerment. So you will hear more from me in the very near future. But if there's anything that the district can do or to be helpful, please be in contact. Okay. So with that,
Thank you so much.
happy Year of the Rabbit. And,
Yes, happy
Yes.
Year of the Rabbit.
Thank
And-
you.
Health and
and
prosperity.
I'll see you all
Okay.
soon. All right. Good night. Thank
Take
you.
care. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Thank you. Bye.